record, right? I'm going to go to intro.
We are the only show for independents all around, giving you a platform to spread your word all over town. Catch the Craze is the place to promote to your fans with the Dreamer, Medina, and Sam the Crazy Man. Subscribe to our show and never miss an episode. It's time to get your mans, listen to us on the go. Updated every week, we never miss a day. Join the squad, come on in. It's time to catch the Craze. If you are an independent, catch the Craze. Making moves on your own, catch the Craze. On your grind in the streets, catch the Craze. Join the movement, catch the Craze.
Yeah, George, we did it again. Come on now. You know you want to do it. Catch the Craze. Welcome to Catch the Craze Podcast. I am your host with the most, the crazy man, Vern. I'm with
George, the Dreamer, Medina.
What's your name? Yo, George.
The Dreamer, Medina. I was trying to get that bass. I can't hear it, so I'm trying to remember how it goes to kind of do it.
Is that what it is? That's what it is?
Yeah, I can't hear it. It sucks, dude, because I know. Because I will start spitting. I start spitting bombs.
Yes. I think when the Rona decides that she's gonna pack up and go on vacation, I think I need to get with like a professional who understands how to navigate in the Zoom era and how to make that stuff happen. You know, because it's supposed to be. I know it is a way to be able to link it to this so that you hear it, but I don't know how.
Really?
I'm not there yet. I'm pretty smart, but I'm not that smart.
Hey, listen. As long as I see you bopping, so I'm like, okay, I think I hear something, and then I just go. So what's going on, man? How you doing?
What up? Yes.
This is our November 13th. Today's November 13th.
Word.
So this. I don't even know what number episode is. I've lost count.
I can tell you right now. This is episode number 211.
Oh, 211. There we go. 211.
Dos
and
unos.
Very special guest today is Jalal.
Yes, Jalal, the Grokk.
The Grokk.
Yes, Jalal Nasser, the Grokk for JWN Studios, the creator of the Grokk.
Oh, Grokk. Yeah. He'll be on the show today talking to us
again.
About his creation. I don't know if you wanted to mention that.
It's the realities of what we do.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, hey, pull back the curtain.
Pull back the curtain.
What happened was there was sound issues. Sound issues on your end, and we thought everything was fine until we went to hear it. And there was a wrap.
It's no bueno. So what happened was, when we did the live show with the Rican, PSE&G cut the power. This is after the storm and all the trees got knocked down. So they shut the power grid on my block and didn't tell anybody. So this was during our live show and it shut everything down. So what that did was it created a glitch in my equipment. And I was getting alert signals saying, recalibrate. You're going to have some of the files may be corrupt. You need to recalibrate. I was like, whatever. And I said, everything seems to be working. I'm not going to ignore it, right? And, see, when there's a warning, you need to heed the warning.
You got to heed the warning,
Yes,
bro.
that's when the pill has that skeleton on it, you got to say no.
Don't drink it. Don't take it.
So I didn't heed the warning. And because it didn't affect it that night when we're back on with the, so I was like, all right. So when we did the show with our boy in London, that's where he is in London?
Yeah, he's in London,
right?
Yeah.
You guys were saying I sounded robotic. And I was like, you guys don't know what you're talking about. I can hear myself fine.
Another warning.
I'm all good in the hood. Yes, I know.
Second pill with the little skeleton.
Deuces, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it's like what is it? Final Destination. So so I'm like, and it was a good show. Good show. I was like,
good.
Man.
Jalal was excellent. We had a very good conversation.
Yes. And so when I went back to the editing room And I'm like putting it together to get ready to post it. And I was like, all I heard was, I was like, what the hell is that? I was like, no.
But that was just you though, right?
Yeah, it was just me. So I was going to try to dub over myself and record my questions because I knew what my questions were to him and try to get that. But I was like, that's too much damn work. Let's just get him back on the show and re-record this damn thing. Yeah.
Oh man, that's too bad. That's gonna go on the cutting room floor.
Yeah, it was. But that's what happens in the world of podcasting is those uncontrollables. Now I'm hanging in the alleys and the staircase. You know.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Uncontrollables, and Sam not wanting to test the thing first. I told you, you sound like Bane, bro. You were like, Bane, shut up. I can hear you. I can hear me.
I can hear me.
Because you could hear yourself fine, right? Like you in your ear, you could hear yourself fine, right?
Yes.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. I heard me.
You heard
me.
Yeah.
I was like.
Anyway, so we have Bilal. He was very gracious. He said, "Hey man, no problems. Let's do it." And
do it.
And the funny thing is, last week when we had him on the show, he wasn't feeling well. He
had a hangover.
Massive headache. Yeah. So
he was drinky.
So he's back now, and he will be back in a few. Yeah. And we'll have him on the show. We'll talk Grokk. Yes. We'll also talk about our topic for today, which is selling out on Get Your Meds.
Yeah, that's I guess that would be my cue, right?
It's time for your medicine.
Yeah, so Get Your Meds. What is it? It was playing, George, as you were talking. You said Get Your Meds, like, brah!
What is going on?
Brah!
What is this?
What
the hell's going on here? It's our first episode.
We're
a mess today.
Yes, I know.
Listen, it's all right. It's what it is. Anyway, Get Your Meds.
Is you selling out?
Is you selling out?
Yeah.
So we had a very good discussion about this the last time we were on. I was a little angry.
Yes.
And I don't know if I'm still feeling that way. But yeah, let's talk about selling out. So what is it to sell out exactly, right?
Yeah, word. Please explain to me, please.
Does it mean that you take money for your work and then you step away? A big corporation, a big company comes in and says, "Hey man, you have a great idea. We want to buy it. Give us the idea. You no longer own it. Goodbye." And you're like, "Hey, how much you giving me?" "Oh yeah, I'll take that." Is that selling out? Or is selling out basically stop doing things independently, where you are no longer the little indie guy? Now you're linked with this big company, and to the other people who are playing in the same sandbox with you, now are you considered a sellout? I guess that is the question, right? I believe that selling out is something that in a messed up way,
right, some
people kind of want, like,
yes,
you kind of want that big company to come in. Now, are you going to give up your rights though? That's where like the ultimate sellout is, right? Like you're like, "Hey, I could just create another one. I don't care. Yes. I'll just create another property. You could take this one. I'll create another one." Right. So what is selling out to you, Sam?
So, there's several examples of what I guess a sellout could mean. And it's funny because as I was thinking about it, let's stick in comics. Mm-hmm. Think about Image, right? So Image was a bunch of talented guys that were bringing in a lot of revenue for the big boys, and they weren't getting their respect, and they weren't getting a bigger piece of the pie. So, and they were under such scrutiny in ways that they had to illustrate and all this other stuff. So they said, we're going to create our own. So they get together and they get the boys together, and, it's McFarlane, it's, Liefeld, it's Lee, Silvestri, all these guys, Wills Patricio, they all go. But then Lee decides to go back to DC and sell Wildstorm to DC. Would that be considered selling out?
Yeah. Right.
Right.
So he sold it to them.
What was it about being an independent that he found discouraging or maybe apprehensive about that. He felt the need to go to secure his income with an established organization and give them his platform, his product. So would that have been considered selling out?
Right. Well, at face value, right, without knowing what happened, why he did it, whether he got something on the back end, at face value, if you just said to me, hey, Jim Lee just sold Wildstorm to DC, yes, sell out. Absolutely. Sold out. He sold out, literally sold out. They gave him money for his property. He gave it to them. Goodbye. I'm done. Thank you very much. Now, anybody else who knows exactly what happened in that process, enlighten me. But at face value, right? If we're talking about, I just hear that is selling out. That is what we are talking about when we're talking about selling out. Now, there may be other things that they told him. They said, listen, give us money for it. You still own your property. We just want the studio. And at that point,
whatever happened to his was it his Wildcats?
Wildcats.
Right. So whatever happened to it? It got buried.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I mean?
Never to be seen again.
And so I think that's because we don't have all the facts. This is all speculation, and we're just looking at it. Giving hypotheticals. If you want to take it into the music business, right? You think about the rappers that went mainstream.
They're constantly being accused of
selling out, right?
Yeah,
And I think it's also a reverse for Eminem. So Eminem came out. Is that you?
No.
Oh, Eminem came out and my name is it crossed a lot of boundaries and it became mainstream, right? So when he came out mainstream. Then he got more gritty and more hardcore and gritty and not as commercially viable as it was when he did his earlier shows. So people think they know the name of my band, whatever. So you think about all those. So that's like on the flip side. So did he refuse to continue to be labeled what he was being labeled as a sellout or mainstream artist? He's not part of the the urban environment. There's this whole backlash against Eminem right now, which is crazy, and so there's like a reverse effect there. You start out mainstream, you go backwards, but I think for me the intent is if you start out and you say I'm going to be an independent because I want creative control. Someone comes along and gives you a $5 million check and says, we're taking your property, we want to own it. And you say, okay. And you pack up and go. You sold out. You don't have any more rights to it. You don't have any control of it. Everything that you said you were going to do, you didn't do. For whatever reasons. There's no right or wrong. It's just, but that would be considered selling out because you gave away everything.
Right. Yeah.
Unless you were smart and said, like Mia McFarlane. Everything he does, he controls, right? So he controls his destiny. Yeah, I want to do a movie, but I own the rights. Yes, I want to. In fact, I want to take it a step further. I want to direct my own movie. You know what? I'm going to take it even a step further. I'm going to write the damn thing. So if you're going to invest in me, you're investing in me, the whole package.
Well, that's what Sly did. Remember, Sylvester Stallone did that with Rocky.
Yes, with Rocky.
They offered him money. They said, "Here you go, man. We'll give you money. We like it. We'll give you the money." He's like, "All right, cool, but I need to star in it." Rock, listen, Sly, it's good. It's a good script, man. Let's let a professional act in this movie.
Yes.
No. I want to be in the movie. I want to star in the movie. You're not getting this movie without me starring in it. Now, he could have easily just sold it to them. You know what I'm saying? Right. And hey, I'm back. He could have easily sold it to
I stopped asking the question.
Yeah, my phone rang. But he just said, no, if you want this property, I'm coming with it. Right. To me, that's the ultimate. The man did not sell out. You know what I mean? But going back to music, what you were saying, it's interesting, man, because I think hip hop, right, and like that genre is one of those genres where like Biggie, right, when Biggie was coming out and he linked up with Diddy, with Puff Daddy at the time. Puff said to Biggie, listen, I'm gonna make you a star, right? but you're gonna have to sing some, radio friendly stuff so we can get into the mainstream, so we can make some real money. Without that, we won't be. You just be an underground rapper. I need you, and I get it. You're gritty. You can rap about whatever, but we gotta be able to sell you. So you're gonna have to sing behind some of these samples that I have. Juicy, that sample right there, which sounds kind of weak to you. Just throw some good lyrics on that bad boy. Let's sell this thing. Let's make it radio friendly, and let's go. To me, that's not. If there's a plan there, that's not necessarily selling out.
But is it your plan, or is it the other man's plan?
But is it gonna showcase my talent regardless? Am I gonna have control of what I'm doing?
Right, but that's somebody pulling your strings. So that's basically saying this is what I know what's best for you. You know what I'm saying? So really, so it's an unnecessary byproduct of growing. You have to commercialize in order to make revenue. You can only go so far underground. That's it. I mean, if you look in the hip hop world, it's all over the place. How many guys are so damn talented, but they stood gritty, they stood underground, and they only have a small group, a small market, and it's probably like a fraction of a percentage of the industry. Then you look at the guys like LL Cool J, where he's diversified his portfolio. He's got everything from "Mama Said Knock You Out" to "Jiggling Baby," "I Need Love."
Right, but Def Jam also told him, "Hey man, sing for the ladies. They're gonna get you the money."
Ladies love Cool J,
and the ladies love Cool James. I don't know. I mean, I don't know his background, but was that really his name? Like when he was trying to rap in the streets, you know what I mean? Like he was known for being a soft rapper, and then he had to come out with "Mama Said Knock You Out," because to me, it's like it's a means to an end, right? So yeah, the company may say to you, "Hey, LL, we're gonna have you singing for the ladies," and he's like, "Come on, man." But then when he did get that notoriety, now you control your destiny.
Man, when he did that joint with Boys to Men, "Hey Lover," oh, that was what?
Yeah, dude,
played it all the time.
Hey Lover, what? Hey Lover was girl, ladies.
That was the bedroom mix.
Yo, that was LL Blue Boom. It was over.
It was over.
Mr. Smith came out. I mean, I think that was in the Mr. Smith album. He did that, and he had other stuff on that album that was, that was a little harder. You know what I mean? So, I mean, listen, I don't think that I don't think that that's selling out, because
I think he's been identified with being
correct.
That's
correct.
him. And
there's a means to an end.
In that sense. When you think about it, every time you talk about, you think about longevity, you think about the most hits. The guy's had hits after hit after hit. He's working on a new album right now, and yes, I watched his interview with Fat Joe, and
Fat Joe just turned 50. Damn, we old, son. Fat Joe turned 50. Oh man. Oh my God. Yo,
you gotta stop making me laugh. My crow's feet keep showing. Show my age. Where's my makeup artist? Makeup.
Yo, that's crazy.
Craig.
My God.
Yes. Yeah, he thought.
That's so funny. We're talking about all these old school rappers.
Wait, hold on. I gotta put my dentures in salsa water. Hold on.
Oh man. So he's coming out with an album.
Yeah, he's working on an album, and he says he's gonna go back to what he does. Give people what they expect from him. Again, see what they expect from him, which is his DNA. It goes back to an interview with the Grokk, where he said, he put a lot of thought into his character design. Can you identify the character if it was a silhouette? Can you say, yeah, that's that character? You can do it. You see a silhouette, a shadow of the Hulk, it's Hulk. You know what I'm saying? It's so. I think it's the same premise. What LL Cool J is going to bring. But again, back to the sellout. I think we had a good story about that when we first did Licensing Expo. Right? So, we don't know anything. We're a bunch of youngins, and, Sam is crazy with, Sam just runs, right? So we did licensing. We're there. We think we're the hottest things in sliced bread, and we're getting a lot of attention. And we had this big, huge multimedia agencies that were interested in the product, but they wanted to own everything. So we talked about it. I was trying to find that show. I couldn't find it. So we talked about it on one of the shows where, they invited us to their tent, if you ever been to License Expo, these guys had it set up where they had like all these meeting tables inside this makeshift tent, and this guy's eating, and he wants to keep us waiting, whatever. And then I think it was like 3%. He says, we want it. We'll give you 3%, but we own everything, and blah blah blah. I was like, oh hell no. And I was like, yo, the one thing I know is a con, right? So yeah, at that time I might not have been savvy in the world of the negotiations and the formalities when it comes to the legal mumbo jumbo, the jargon. But this homeboy, I saw he was a wolf in sheep's clothing. I was like, oh, I see wolf. I said, ain't happening here, because I is a lion. And I'll eat your ass, bro. So try to play us, and it's like, no, it's okay. And he followed us all the way to San Diego Comic-Con, because we did Licensing Expo, then we flew out to San Diego, did licensing, and he was there too, at San Diego. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, nah, your deal sucks, right? So that was a time where we had an opportunity to be like, oh, yeah, great. And then next you know, it's probably the hottest thing on TV, merchandise and all that stuff. And we got a couple of bus tickets, and that was it. You know what I mean? So I think if you are going into it with the intent of just making a quick buck, boom, go ahead, sell
it.
Sell
out, baby.
But if your whole
$5 million for your property,
if
you're like,
right? Especially now with the Rona and the asteroid that's coming to Earth and the potential UFO attacks in China with the submarine that they just found has a hidden base under the sea.
If you're ready,
give me that $5 million. Elon Musk, can I buy a ticket to go to Mars? I'm like,
because to me, it is. It's got a negative connotation to sell out, right? That's just so negative, man. Yo, that dude sold out. Listen, man, like. Sometimes you need that money. If you are an artist who creates and you have tons of like stuff, give them your garbage, sell that, and then go. You know what I mean? Like to me, it's not necessarily a bad thing. You know what I mean? If you want to sell out, I'm not gonna hate on you. It is what it is.
Yo.
Just don't complain after the fact, though.
Yes.
I don't like the people who are like, yo, man. They bought this thing and they look what they did to it, dude. You sold it to them, like
shut your mouth, shut your face, potato face.
Yes, you got paid.
Like zip it, focus.
You made that decision. Don't start crying after the fact. You know what I mean? Like
cry for me, Argentina.
Oh, you know what? Before I forget, you mentioned we before this we mentioned that we recorded a show. The volume was back.
Right.
I'm wondering. We had such good stuff on that. I'm wondering if people don't mind the Bane voice and depending on how bad it is, maybe we could throw it up on the Patreon for our subscribers and see if they wanna check it out.
Ooh, God bless you, because it's rough.
Behind the scenes, is it really bad? Is it that bad?
When I start talking, all you hear is I sound like an angry drunk. with microchips in my throat.
It's like, damn. Yeah. No, because we did have some good stuff in there.
Some good stuff. Yeah, that's exactly. Stuff. So I was like trying to reflect on those conversations, and but then I was like, wait, even now, that's when the whole Jim Lee thing came up. Look.
No, but it's true, man. I think that the whole term selling out, it definitely has a negative connotation. I just think that to each his own. If you feel like that's what you need to do because that's what you want to do, that's what you came in here to do it. If you want to keep your rights, well, was it Charles Schultz that said that he would never when he died, the characters would never be drawn by anybody else?
Yes,
I think it was him.
But his son changed that.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah, because they created that Snoopy movie.
Oh, yeah, no, but that was a 3D movie. That was 3D animation.
No, I think they did another 2D.
Did they?
I have to look it up. I believe they did another 2D episode. It wasn't the same, though.
Because I know Charles Schultz was very adamant about the fact that he did not want anybody else joined. So that was the ultimate. I don't give a crap. Like I'm not. Nobody else is joining these characters. These are my characters. He took them with him.
Yeah.
So if that's you, that's you. Hey, and I respect that too. I respect
awesome. Your game. Just be authentic about your intentions. I think
exactly. Yeah, word.
That's it. Let people know exactly what you are, where you're coming from, and people will respect that. So if you're coming into games and look, I'm looking for the highest bidder. Show me the money. Boom, it's all yours. Go with God. Do your thing. If you're going in and saying no, I'll never. The moment you see that green, and you're like, ooh,
Boom.
And then you shut. You're like, nah, you're that guy. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's true.
So
That is true.
it's like
That
just
is
be
true.
authentic to yourself.
Be authentic.
Everybody
Yep.
wants to get paid, right? It's just how you get paid. I think which is why I admire and respect Todd McFarlane so much because the guy is such a ball buster with regards to his own brand that he will live and die on his sword by his own merits. If I fail, I fail because of me. If I succeed, I succeed because of me. But I'm doing it my way, and I think that's the best approach.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. And the thing with Todd too is that even for a while, he stopped drawing Spawn. It wasn't like he was like, I'm not, he knew. He's like, I can't draw the whole thing. So he gave it to somebody else to draw. But if you notice in every plot by Todd McFarlane, so he had his hands in it. You know what I mean? So he didn't just give up control. He still had the control of the product regardless, you know?
I mean, and then he's very selective about the artists. I mean, with Greg Capullo, I mean, he did such a phenomenal job on Spawn. And then when he was doing, I think it was at Kiss Psycho Circus, or and I think Sam and Twitch. I think they had Angel Medina doing a few of those. So make your money however you want to make the money. Make your money.
Make your money, man.
Yeah, it's like
make your money. Yeah. I also like let the haters hate. I mean, but like you said, be authentic about your stuff. And don't complain after the fact. Don't come complain. Oh man, they robbed me. Well, read the contracts that they're giving you. Make sure you understand what it is that you're signing. So that there isn't that. And mistakes are going to be made. You're probably going to make a mistake or whatever.
Yes.
But you have to be prepared. You have to read. You have to understand. Get a lawyer involved. And I think that was the thing at licensing, right? We were young, dude. We had no. But I guess we were smart enough to say, no, we're not signing anything. And we might have lost a lot of opportunities because we may not have been understanding what they were saying. I remember there was like an Asian company that wanted to put our characters on cell phones.
They were willing, but remember? They were also willing to pay for all the props and create a booth in Tokyo for licensing Japan and Tokyo, whatever. And they were going to do all the setup and all that stuff, whatever. And it was Circle of Confusion that said, don't do it. They said, well, let's start domestically and then go internationally. You don't want to do it reverse. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. Which again, if we had if we knew more about, maybe we could have been like, all right, well, let's talk to these guys first. Let's see what's going on, because we hadn't signed anything with Circle of Confusion anyway.
Right.
So,
right. It was a good faith deal. We get you the deal. This is what we're looking for. I mean, there was a percentage. I think it was like 10%. I think it was of, and it was a solid deal. But we learned a lot from that experience. I think, again, there's no right or wrong, guys. But just be genuine, have fun with it. Do your thing, make your money. Especially we got 9 years left before that meteor crashes on Earth and it's all over.
That's right. It's almost over.
It's almost over.
So get your money now.
Get your money
now. Do what you got to do.
Yes.
Feed the family.
Yes.
Build that. That what you call it? That underground.
That underground bunker.
Bunker.
Yeah.
Where you're gonna survive.
Yeah, I will survive. Oh, as long as I know how to love.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's called the I forgot what it's called. I'll bring it up on the next show, but there is a meteor that's heading towards Earth, and they said it's supposed to in April of 2029. It's supposed to hit off the coast of California, and it's supposed to be the impact's supposed to be as much as every nuclear bomb on Earth going off at the same time 3 times over.
Oh,
so life as we know it will be over.
So cool. 2029, huh?
2029.
It's a wrap. It's a wrap for us.
We need to make this happen. We need to make this happen.
I know. I gotta live like at least a good 5 comfortable years. You know what I mean? Like at least.
There ain't nothing comfortable about 2020.
Nothing comfortable about 2020.
It's crazy. But you notice, remember, what was that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, where he's like in they have to survive all of these games, like live a life or death games, and they got these bracelets on and they're being tracked. They can't escape past the fence. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Dang it. What's the name?
Really?
Yes. Come on. Hold on.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
IMDb. It's IMDb time. By the way, our guest Jalal, he'll be with us in a few. He just sent me a message letting me know that he was going to be with us in a few. So we have some time
Commando
to see what movie you were talking about.
Yeah, it was Red Heat and the Day Escape.
The Sixth Day?
No. Conan, Hercules.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. Let's see. Jeez. Damn, yeah, he's been doing movies forever.
Yeah.
Terminator 3. What was it? 90s? Eraser?
Not Eraser. Come on, give me your movies. Where's the movies?
True Lies, Last Action Hero? No. Lincoln? The hell? All right, let's see. True Lies, Eraser, Batman, End of Days.
Nope. 7.
Where he played Jericho. There's the Sixth Day. There's Collateral Damage. The Expendables. No. Escape Plan.
No. Running Man. The Running Man. So the Running Man, where they try, they're in these damn games, and so everything's virtual, everything's on screen except for the people that are fighting to survive, and they're like almost like they're prisoners, and they have to go through these life or death games, almost like Death Race. So it's almost like if you look at what's been happening, everything is now virtual. Everything is now on TV. That with the Democratic National Convention behind the screens. It's like keeping us away. This is how Star Wars started with the Rebel Alliance. I'm just saying. It's kind of nuts. Because there's going to be a point where the civilians they uprise because there's whole talk about chipped and keeping us at bay and autonomous machines taking over, and we're no longer going to make, if you don't have coding engineering backgrounds or medicine, doctors are going to get replaced by androids. It's going to be nuts.
Yeah, it's going to be a sci-fi movie, bro. We're going there. We're going there. Yeah. We're getting there.
You gotta
be careful.
I guess it's a good thing that we're in this time, because when it does happen, I'd be one of those cats. I'd be Han Solo. I'm like, yo, come on, Chewie. Let's go.
I'd be Han Solo. Okay. You got to Chewie, you and your puppies and shit.
That's it.
Come here, guys.
That's it.
Running around with your puppies. Oh, that'd be great.
It's crazy the way this world is going, man. Then you notice on the news that their satellites saw China has a submarine going into a hidden base undersea. Yo, they're sneaking up. So I creep. Yeah, just keep it on the down low.
Oh man,
yo, they're coming. Dude, they're coming.
It's gonna be insane the next few years. So 2029 is over though. 2029, we're gonna get hit by this by this asteroid, and it's gonna be done.
We need 2021.
Oh boy, we need 2020 to be over.
2021 is crazy, man. It's exhausting. It's frustrating. It's scary. It's depressing. It's anxiety ridden. It's like, oh my god, I can't drink enough whiskey, bro. It's like,
you're an alcoholic.
How tired I am.
Oh Jesus.
Yes.
Oh man. Well, that was get your meds.
Yes, I need some meds.
Today.
Like, what?
Oh man. Yeah, no, so selling out, that was a topic. We just went off topic. But yeah, no, that was a topic for today. Tell us what you think on the comments below. What's your view on what selling out is?
Yes.
And yeah, man. And then also check us out on Patreon, right? We got the Patreon.
Patreon.
The Patreon.
Yes, support us. We help us keep this going. You can either just leave a tip on a tip jar or become a member of the Craze, and you get some cool stuff, and all the levels are there on our Patreon, so support that. So and we can't wait.
Right. We're currently working on the Crazies, so you guys, anybody who pledged on our Kickstarter, thank you very much, guys. You will be getting that soon. Yes. We're going to be shipping those out. We're finishing up a couple of things, and it'll be out. And then we're going to move on to the next issue. So that was issue 1. And we're going to be moving into issue 2. Sam showed me some cool stuff. coming down the pipe.
Surprise,
for those issues.
surprise.
So yeah, so check that out.
Yeah, I still got it. I still got it.
Dusting off the pencil.
Dusting off the pencil. I still got it. Wait till you see. I got every stage of it, from the preliminary roughs to the pencils to the inks to the colors. I get all of that's gonna on our Instagram page. So so I've been building content for that Instagram page.
For the behind the scenes stuff that you'll be seeing on the well, it should be out now. The Catch the Crazies, right? The Instagram.
It should be. Oh yeah.
So
follow us on Instagram, on IG. Hit us up. Hey,
yes,
and you know, if you want to hit us up with some fan art, go ahead.
There you go.
You know, show us your best crazies.
Guys. Yeah, you got to understand, guys, that we pre-record the show. So a lot of the things we talk about on the shows has not yet happened. So we're throwing it out into the universe, and it will
Crystal
happen.
ball.
So trust us. The IG will be up there, and it's up there now because we're speaking in the present, even though we're in the past, talking about the future. That's some inception.
Come on in, ease on down the road. Don't you carry nothing that might be a load. So our guest is in the waiting room. We're gonna go together, and then we'll bring our guest in.
You read comics?
But do you read indie comics?
Do you support indie creators?
Indie creators in the arts.
Indie creators in comics, movies, music?
Well, so do we.
Subscribe to Catch the Craze on YouTube.
And let's support the indie community.
So check the flow, cause you know I got soul. The name is Catch the Craze, baby. So act like you know it's called Catch the Craze. Catch the Craze.
Hello there. And welcome back to part 2. I can't hear you.
These damn sounds.
Yeah, get your audio.
There
you go.
What's up? How are you, buddy?
Easy, guys. How are you?
Welcome back, Carter.
Oh, man.
You can hear him better now. You can hear him better, right?
Let's speak, Sam. Let's hear.
Can you hear me?
Oh, man. Loud and clear. Last week, you were coming across like one of the machines from Terminator. I don't know. This damage.
Yes.
Yeah, it was rough when I went to edit it, and I was like, "Wait, what is that?" It was it was rough.
Oh man, how's your week been, guys?
Good, man. Good. How are you feeling? Are you feeling good today?
Yeah. Oh man, so much better than last week. So much better. Literally, after I finished the meeting, I got my migraine got so bad. It was chronic, man. It was severe hangover and just drinking. That's
there you go.
Yeah,
well,
that's what you get, man. Self-inflicted.
Yeah, no. Well, welcome back. For the audience, this is Jalal Nasser, creator of the Grokk. Yes. He's joining us here on Catch the Craze. We're going to talk a little bit about everything that you've got going on. And, this is part 2 because we already did one, but we're going to do it all over again. So,
retake.
Yes. No, welcome. Thank you. So there it is.
There it is.
Tell us. That's the one. That's the one. Tell us a little bit about your coming up in the I guess in the independent industry, or also let's go even further back to your humble beginnings there in London. Tell us a little bit about that.
No worries. So, I mean, in terms of art and a passion for art, I would say it's something all kids have. I think we touched on this last week. All children draw, and they all create instinctively. They've got wonderful, vivid imaginations, and then they typically, go to school, and then they're told off for drawing at the back of class. Whereas for me, that's all I did. I just absorbed all the sort of teachers' lessons, but at the back of class, always drawing. And from day one, literally I've got an older brother who's a year and a half old. I've got a younger brother and sister as well. But my older brother and I, we're very, close enough in age, so we were both drawing like aliens and monsters and stuff that we'd seen in like fantasy movies and all this kind of stuff, from very young. And my mum's an artist. My grandfather is a wonderful artist, a master carpenter, or was. My uncle John is a professional painter, and he makes his living doing oil painting.
That's awesome.
Wow.
So there's definitely something there. And then, like, I suppose to get rounding it off to comics, from this interest in stories and trying to create stories around these characters. My mum took me into a comic book store in central London in Covent Garden. And it was just, I think it was even Christmas time. It felt like it anyway. It was kind of, it was a magical experience for me. And we just went into this comic book store, and in the window they had like a big Hulk figure, a big figure of Ben Grimm, the Thing, like both facing off kind of thing. It's like, that is the coolest stuff. And just went in, and it was floor to ceiling comics and figures and statues. And it was just, that's when the love affair started, it was just immediate. And from then it was I've always known what I wanted to be and what I wanted to do. And that's just to draw, create characters, draw stories around them. That was it. And then from that point, I suppose, I know I go on, by the way, interrupt me at any time, guys.
No, this is interesting. No, this is exactly what, the timeline is very important. I think people need to understand like where you were at certain, love, like parts of your life where you got into the arts. But go ahead, continue.
So from then, like, I would say, after school and in terms of like trying to progress this, I, came up with kind of a concept, a universe of characters that I've got running in my head, and just always practice. They do say that old, I can't remember who the guy was that came up with it, but they say if you put 10,000 hours into anything you desire, that you want to get good at, if you're persistent and you practice, you could be the worst artist in the world, and if you just like, no, I'm going to become an artist, and you just go through those steps, start at the beginning, just put in the time, put in the practice, you can master it, so that's it. And so all my life, whenever I've got spare time, and I'd advise anyone else who's an up and coming artist, just draw all the time, take a sketch pad with you, I would be sitting around my friends, we're playing video games, and in the meantime, I'm just sketching them, trying to, a bit of life drawing, draw things that you see as well,
Right.
Draw. I heard someone say that, and it's very good advice again, and I kind of followed this, is that, get a scrapbook, and then just at the top of each page, just write a subject matter. So for example, roots, like tree roots, trees, leaves, rocks, crystals, mushrooms, different skulls, skeletons, bones, rocks, whatever, and then just observe these things, look at pictures of these things, or study them from real life if you can, is always better. So go in the garden, get some stones, get some rocks, and just make really quick sketches. Fill each page with sketches of those different things. By the time you've filled a scrapbook, you will have got a hell of a lot better, and it will be teaching you to draw form. And then there's a great book, How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way, which I guess you guys must have seen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's just epic. I think it's John Buscema, I think, is the artist. Forgive me if I'm wrong. And Stanley, obviously, was editing and doing the dialogue. But brilliant for up-and-coming artists.
So, Jalal, when you were coming up and you went into that store and you saw this Hulk figure fighting Ben Grimm, right? At that point, did you then say to yourself, I'm going to work for that company? Or was your initial idea was, I'm going to draw my own characters? What came first? The desire to work for this company or your desire to create your own characters?
I would say, like, I'd always had in the background my own characters, but it was a passion of mine to work for Marvel Comics. It was the biggest dream of mine. I wanted to draw the Hulk. Because if you see the Grokk as well, you can see, like, I like to draw big, monstrous, battles, big creatures, and I like that sort of things. And so, I had this, I was like desperate to draw for Marvel Comics. I say desperate, I didn't send that many submissions in. I sent a few in, but looking back on them, I was definitely not ready. when I sent the submissions in. I would have said no to me back then. Although in my head I was like, no, I'm totally ready. And just, but no, as you get older and you see, it's like, you know, there's areas, you know, you've got a young man's ego, but that ego was detrimental to me, I'd say, because I got offered other roles. I got offered an opportunity with several other comic houses, 2000 AD, who do Judge Dredd years ago, one of the Comic-Cons here. They were looking for someone to do a comic, which in hindsight is so up my street. It was like a book about werewolves. Come on. I mean, that's and it was like set, I can't remember exactly, but werewolf by I can't remember the name, but anyway, I turned it down. I was just like, no, you know, I had this just dream to work for Marvel.
Yeah.
And then, and now in hindsight, or not even in hindsight, but now in the current climate, I don't even know if I would want to work for Marvel, those other companies, other than Image. You know, I wouldn't. I'm saying that obviously if Marvel offered me I'd take
like,
it.
hey man, we need somebody to work on the Hulk. Would you like to do it?
Yes. All right. I eat my words. I eat my hat. Just give me that green marker. But yeah, so I kind of I passed up on that, and then I decided at that point I had, you know, this big universe. I thought, you know what, I'm going to get my own stories out there, and I had an opportunity to go and stay in Japan, where I stayed. I've stayed for a total of about 2 years of my life in Japan. My older brother still lives there now. He's been there for close to 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful, beautiful place. So
does he speak the language?
I speak Choto Japanese, so like a little bit.
Really? That's incredible, dude.
But I worked while I was out there. I worked in a couple of companies doing like some, you know, like marketing for them to Western companies. So they wanted someone who was like, you know, good command of English to try and promote their stuff. And then I worked as a barman in Tokyo for a while in a nightclub bar.
Wow.
which was pretty crazy times. My shift was typically 12 at night till 6 o'clock in the morning. So you can imagine.
Wow.
But great fun. But while out there, like just, you know, all the manga, you know, all the anime, all the Gundams, the thing, you know, it's everywhere. And there's particular areas you go where it's just like, you know, just all the streets are just lined with this stuff. And it's so inspirational, and studying like the landscapes. Japan has got all these beautiful mountains, and, you know, so I try and incorporate a lot of, you know, those beautiful sort of, you know, Far Eastern sort of lands into my, you know, and I love ninjas, samurais, and
that's awesome.
Martial arts, and, you know, all kung fu, all this kind of stuff. So just, yeah, it's a great place to go, massively inspired. And then so I released a book while I was out there called The Legend of Anukai, which was me just putting it together. My brother, his business had like facilities for printing. So we literally put it all together ourselves, printed up a load of books, and then using this is what I'd advise everyone as well, like network, you know, just, I mean, the first event we did where we sold everything, pretty much sold out on that first event. We just told everyone we knew and just organized a combination between just a launch party, promoting it, and just got it absolutely full to the brim. We had like a visual jockey, like a VJ, projecting like all the images from the book onto the walls in time with this music and stuff. So it's just, you know, and by the end, everyone was, you know, had a good time, bought copies of the book, and then came back to England, and life just got in the way. I had to just, you know, find an income which is the difficult thing, because we'd love to just be drawing and creating and writing non-stop, and we got to fund that, you know. So came back to England, got into full-time work, ended up in the corporate world for quite some time, and just let things sort of slip. Always drawing, but just let that sort of drive slip. And then I came up with the Grokk, and I was realizing, like, you know, life is unfulfilled if you're every day sort of not able to do your passion. Then what kind of life is it, you know? So I was like, I need to get back to the creating. To get back to the creating. And then I came up with the Grokk. I just designed this character. I don't know what it was. Just, you know, with a lot of creations, you're just pulling these ideas. You don't even know where they come from. Sometimes you're just grabbing them from the darkness, kind of thing. And the Grokk came, and the Grokk kind of combines my love of, like, you know, big hulking type characters effectively with my other passion, which is nature. I'm a huge, like, animal lover. I'm the kind of person that, like, when I see a bee on the floor, like a bumblebee, and it's just there, I'll go and I'll pick it up. I'll go and take it over to, like, a flower, or I'll get some, like, you know, find a bit of water, put some sugar in the water, let it drink from that and fly off. You know, I don't tread on ants. I love animals. You know, I feel it's our duty, and you can tell the caliber of a people by the way they treat the animals in their care. So so the Grokk is the guardian of nature on an alien world. I don't want to give too much away. You've got, obviously, guys, check out the book. You'll find out all about it. But it incorporates this love of nature and animals, and another passion called cryptozoology, which is, for people that know, it's like or don't know, it's the search for undiscovered or sort of, you know, extinct animals that may still be roaming the planet. And Bigfoot, in the States, you guys, you know, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, or in Asia, they call him the Yeti. You know, this is a creature I've always loved. So the Grokk is kind of inspired by that as well, as you'll see.
You mentioned, Jalal, you mentioned in the last time we spoke, you went in depth as to how you designed them, and which I think Sam and I found that very interesting. The work that went into just the design of the creature itself. Can you speak a little bit about how you came up with the design of him himself?
Absolutely. So this is something that it just came to me, and I've seen other creators talking about this since. But in terms of the design, I thought, okay, I want him to be recognizable by a silhouette. And I would advise anyone, even if it's just a human character, whether it be in the haircut or whether it be in the outfit, just to make them distinguishable by a silhouette. Just always makes them stand out from everything else, instantly recognizable, you know. So I would say that that's something that when I designed the Grokk just totally came to mind, because he's like a Hulk kind of shaped dude. Like, okay, so how can we differentiate him? He's got to stand out. You've got to know who we're looking at. And so even just the arrangement of his fur is done in a particular way, but just, you know, you immediately just, you know who that is, looking at it, where it is on him, the way that the actual spikes or whatever go of the fur. And so, that was a really important part of the process, was just designing them in that way so that they stand out, you know, recognition. And I think if you look at Spider-Man silhouettes, you look at Batman's silhouette, you look at the Hulk, you know, Doctor Doom, whoever it is, you can just recognize them. And again, even if they're all exactly the same body structure and shape, you know, and frame, you know who they are because of those distinguishing marks. So that's something I would advise all character designers to consider. You know?
Yeah, no, that's a great point. I never really thought about it that way. You know, how that silhouette can set them apart, so that no matter where you are, you know what I mean, like, you know who that character is. And the fact that you took the time to come up with that, like, do you have any background in design or things like that? Like,
I mean, I've always, obviously, I think all comic artists, you know, have an eye for design to some degree, but I've gone to art college, but just, you know, progressing from school to art college briefly, but that's mostly self-trained. It's just a passion, you know? And then obviously studying, as I say, looking at things and then learning the form of things. And then eventually you have this way where when you're building a composition or whatever, or just, you know, you kind of know what works, you know, you kind of, but no formal training in that.
So I have a two-part question. So when the universe sent you the Grokk, which came first, the name or the character? And then what was your process for creating the logo?
Oh, right. Okay. So it was the design of the character came, and then the name. So it came in that order. And I think we mentioned this last time as well, like the word grok. I wanted because I had the design. So yeah, it was definitely the design first, because I wanted a name to match this character, you know? So it had to have something which just sounded like a heavy, powerful kind of name, Grokk. And I don't know why, it just came. And then later I found out that if you just change the spelling slightly, but it's the same pronunciation, grok means to comprehend or to understand something. So if you grok something, it's like, okay, well, you know, I grok that. I kind of, you know, understood what you meant. So that turned up later. Doesn't really have much relevance, to be fair, to the character. But
you were hoping.
We can try and fix something later, you know, we can work that into the story later. So I don't know. But yeah, and then in terms of where I am now with it, so I released, as I say, the first Grokk book, 144 pages. So it's a massive labor of love. You can't really sort of tell on here, but it's a
big book. Yeah,
it's a big book. And in terms of getting it out and marketing, so originally when I designed the Grokk, I thought, you know what, I've got a good thing here in my head. I thought, I've got a good idea. I'm going to contact all the British sort of independent publishers. And I contacted a few and quite quickly got to meet with one who very quickly was like, yes, you know, I'd like to go with this. This is a cool idea. And we became friends over this as well. And it was all going fine, and it would have probably continued to go fine. However, there was an issue, which was that the Grokk would have been released through their comic book house. And in terms of intellectual property rights, it made it restrictive of me to be able to put together my future vision and goal, which is to have my own universe with all my characters, you know, intermingling and able to cross over into each other's books, etc. And not have any issues with anyone else telling me what I can and can't do. I'm not saying that they would have been ultra strict, but there were already differences starting to appear in the vision. So although contracts had been signed and everything, he was a lovely guy, he is a lovely guy, and we came to amenable terms where he basically gave me all my rights back, you know, or, you know, we went back and I took control of everything. And then obviously this meant that I had to fund the printing myself for the first run. So managed to do it. And in terms of the marketing of the book, I got it registered as a book. And this is something else we went into last week, we totally forgot, is that like the reason it's in this format is because if I were to do individual comics, it would be, I just thought I'd be restricted in terms of the outlets that could sell it, because it's just typically comic books. In the UK, it's only comic book stores. It used to be the occasional newsagent, you'd go in, they'd have some American imports, but generally it's only comic book stores, and they're few and far between. It's not like the States, you know, you've got like, in the whole of the UK, I doubt you've got more than, and remember this is a population of like 65 million people, you've probably got no more than 30 to 40 comic book stores in the whole entirety of the country.
Wow.
And the whole of the United Kingdom. So there's just not many of them at all. Wow. So I was like, okay, how do we reach a bigger market? Well, why not just, instead of releasing individual comics, produce enough, put it together in a graphic novel format, and open up the doors to bookstores and you know, and even like, I don't know, I don't know what you would call it in the States, but like W.H. Smith's is a store we have in the UK. Every airport's got a W.H. Smith's. Every sort of town's got one. Obviously they're online, and they'd sell like books, stationery, magazines for when you're traveling, sweets and stuff, confectionery. And that's pretty much it. But imagine getting, you know, your graphic novel into one of those stores, which is just everywhere. So that's the goal. And then the way, and so I did it as a graphic novel, as I say, and then I had it registered with an ISBN number, which basically means, you know, you get a barcode and it gets registered. It gets put on the sort of the register of all books that are being created. And this goes out, and then all the libraries and all bookstores then also get this list, so they can see every single book that's in print and available. And then what happened was like several libraries, like the Oxford University Library, and several university libraries and other libraries were like, yes, we want to copy the Grokk. Damn. So sent some across. And then in terms of, it was so cool. And then in terms of like, and like I went to my local library and I just went and gifted them a copy. And it's so cool. Like go in there every so often, like, they're like, loads of kids are taking the book out. It's really cool. But I would say use your legs, use the, our God-given gifts, and go about it yourself and sort of, chase it and contact the stores directly, which is what I did. And Foyle's bookshop in London is like the biggest store. It's literally like five floors of books. So the coolest bookshop. And I went in there because I went onto their website before and I saw on their website, bookstores like this, they like to make people think that they have access to every book on earth. So they had listed for sale or for pre-order, they had listed my book, The Grokk, already. Wow. So it was an easy process. I just went in there, went in the store, went hi, as the manager there. I took some copies of the book with me, and then I just explained. I said, look, I'm an author, I'm an artist. My book has been, recently been, is out. I can see you've got it listed on your website, but it's saying you're waiting for copies effectively. I thought I'd deliver you some myself and come and say hello. And
that's amazing.
And they just were like, straight away, they took it. Orbital Comics, several other comic book stores. And then just other, like there's an awesome Japanese store in like Brighton. Just went in there because they sell like all Japanese cool manga merchandise and food and all this. So just wherever you can go, just go in and just try it and just say, look, can I give you 5-10 copies on a sale or return basis? If you don't sell them, I'll gladly take them back. If you do, we're quids in, all round, everybody's happy. Right. I would recommend, that's
See, the thing with that graphic novel too, I think versus the single issues, versus they call them floppies here now. They call them where they're in single issues. Is that the graphic novel has a longer shelf life, right? Yes. So like where comic books normally come out every month. So after, let's say for example, you go there and you drop it off in January, they want another one in February, right? They want another one in March and another one. So that shelf life of that comic book is a lot shorter than, say, for example, your graphic novel that can stay on a shelf for 2 or 3 months, and people are just like, oh, I like this book. Let me buy it. Yeah. So I think that's also the advantage of having that, not only just an ISBN, but also to have that graphic novel form.
Absolutely, that's a really good point as well. Is the longevity. And it can sit on the shelf for 30 years, 50 years. It's not like it's an issue that goes out of date and you've suddenly got like 50 issues in front that you need to, So I would say that's a really good point, is the shelf life.
Absolutely. Now also, Jalal, another question for you on the Grokk. Did you create it with, say for example, an age group in mind? Like, is there an age group that the, as far as readership goes?
I would say, like, if you were a Japanese kid, you could be reading the Grokk from like 4 years old because of the manga they have. The manga they have is pretty full on. And like, it's no more brutal than The Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit. So in my opinion, I was reading The Hobbit and J.R. Tolkien and sort of these fantasy books. I was reading it from about sort of 8 years old, I would say anyway. So I'd say, and I've got, I've had people buy the book whose kids are even younger, and they're like, "Oh, my 6-year-old son is absolutely in love with the Grokk," and so I would say all ages. It's one of those things. It's got comedy in it, which older people will appreciate, and some of the OTT comic book violence, which is so fun to draw. So there's quite a lot of that in there. There's a lot of battles with big beasts, and some decapitations and the bits, and stuff goes down as well. But it's all done in a sort of, I would say, a light-hearted way. And it's good versus evil. At the end of the day, the message is positive. It's like,
love it.
So how much thought did you give into the actual font and the palette, the colors for the logo?
Oh yeah, you said about the logo as well. So,
Yeah. I'll make you come back.
sorry, Sam.
It's all
apologize for it. So the logo, the Grokk
Yes.
logo. To be fair, because the land that you see him in a lot, he's often traveling around mountains and sort of those kind of, it's very natural scenery. Book one, I would say, is more fantasy, although it is a sci-fi in the broader picture. So I don't know. I just wanted to incorporate like the rock kind of feel, the mountains. Originally, I had an idea which was going to be like literally, it's like could see him sort of walking across the top. So it's basically, but I don't know. Just wanted something big, bold, powerful, and I like to draw cracks and mountains, I think, as well. So I kind of just incorporated that, and then the color. I messed around with it. This is the great thing when you're working digitally, is that you can just lay everything down. Yeah. Even to the point where you put in your shading, you can do the whole thing, and then it's like, okay, I'll just adjust the hues, I'll adjust the tones, and you can just play around until you get something that's visually appealing, and then you're like, okay, that works best. That's making everything, that's popping, it's making it pop enough or whatever. Yeah. So, and that's and then that's how it ended up as it is.
Growing up reading comics, I always like the fact, like, I know that, like, for example, the Grokk, you have that color palette for it, but I feel like even Marvel and DC used to do it, where like the Amazing Spider-Man logo would change colors depending on what was on the cover of that comic at the time, right? So like they were very free with how the colors that they used. They weren't necessarily married to a specific color, even though Spider-Man is red and blue or whatever. But his logo could always change depending on what was going on the cover. I know that the Hulk, even his logo would break through. Man. Like it would just, sometimes it'll shatter through. Like if he's punching or something, they would throw. So they would pretty much play with that logo as well. So that's interesting too. Do you have?
I wouldn't say there's Sorry, George. After you.
No, go ahead. No. Continue.
I was going to say, I don't think there's a complete restriction. I don't think we need to be stuck with a static logo. As you say, some of the covers look so awesome with those variants on the logo design, and like with the Hulk, me having collected loads of the Hulks, they're the ones that are jumping to my mind actually. Yeah. And almost every issue is a different color. Every issue is to match and to complement and to jump and make it pop. And there was a really cool one where they just had the Hulk, because you know how it's all like the brickwork. The Hulk is like the bricks, but it was just all see-through, except all the lines were like pink on one edition cover, I think, or purple, but I think it's probably purple actually to match his pants. Yeah. But it just worked. There's loads you could do. Yeah. So I wouldn't say the Grokk Book 2 logo, it might be a little bit different. I might keep it the same. And then obviously there's that other project that I can't wait to bring up.
Yes, I was about to ask that question. You go ahead.
Yeah. So as you guys know, a mutual friend of ours, John Kotsis, is a fantastically talented guy. We connected some while back and hit it off. And I love his creative vision. He's a workhorse as well. If you see the amount of work he pumps out, it's phenomenal. His inking is next level as well. So really loved his work, and we just decided to do a collaboration, and he's got a character called Bionic Caveman who's really cool, and just visually kind of matches the Grokk. There's something about the two of them kind of marrying off in this sort of not in the literal sense of the term marrying off, but the way they complement each other looks wise in the book. Brilliant. And so we had this idea, and also it would mean that I can kind of promote ideally John's US-based characters and work to my sort of more European or English network, and he can do the same with me over there, and it would just be a fun, amazing thing to do. And we both didn't want to be kind of restricted by the sort of comics code and one thing we want to do is like go back to what was great about comics and just make it, fun, full of action, and just, not restricted, not pandering, not virtue signaling, these kind of things. Just, full on, cool, epic, fun story, cool characters. And so it's like his character and the Grokk ending up transported to another world, a battle world where it's just full of just carnage, mayhem, adventure, and a quest to liberate everyone there and themselves and basically to get home from this madness. And it's really cool. It's a really
awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. How far along are you guys on the project?
We've got like the whole concept is there. So we've got the sort of plot is 100% done. The scripting, we kind of have a process where, part of the scripting is done as we do the art, and it kind of marries off. But we know, you've got the whole act, you've got the whole story arc, exactly what you want to happen.
Right.
And then we're just sort of, he's drawing elements of it and I'm drawing elements of it. It's starting off with him doing like the first four pages or so, telling it from BC, Bionic Caveman's perspective. And then I'm drawing the Grokk until they clash together. And then we just take turns, just drawing segment after segment. So it's going to be really fun. You're going to see two very different art styles, I would say, and coloring styles marrying off in the book, which I think is going to look awesome. It's not something I've seen for a while. So it's literally both of us just kind of plowing through it. As I say, the beginning is sort of my chunk and his chunk, and then it's just when they're together, and they've got from their independent worlds to this combined universe. It's just both of us sort of taking it on, drawing each other's characters and stuff.
Yeah, that sounds fun, man.
Really, really cool. And we're thinking in the region of about maybe 88 pages, something like that. So, good size book. And then in terms of release, it's realistically, it's not going to be this year. It's going to be sort of early next year.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
God willing, inshallah, it's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of the latest projects and work is that. And then around that, just I'm doing some commissions. I'm doing some storyboard stuff for other, so. Yes,
you're a busy guy. You're a busy guy, Jalal. So
and I've also got my newborn son, Jad.
Congratulations
to you, man. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. When you sent me the message, you were feeding Junior. I was like, oh, okay, that's awesome, dude. Well, congratulations.
Yeah, you got a haircut too?
Yeah, man. Last week was shocking, man.
Yeah.
You can see. Luckily, you only saw like the side, so it wasn't too offensive. Had you seen the back, it was close to a mullet. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Hey, so Jalal, where can they find your stuff? Tell the audience where they can find your books, how they can order them, your social media.
Yes, absolutely. So you can find me on Instagram. It's _Grokk, Grokk. I've got my website, which is www.thegrokk.com. If anyone wants to reach out to me by email, it's just thegrokk@gmail.com. And yeah, in terms of sort of stores, you can find it like Amazon UK. I'm not sure about you. I need to get sort of international Amazon sorted out, and then obviously random stores here. But I would just suggest go through the website, come to the website. And on there you can find like, prints, and I'm updating it with more merchandise as we speak, continually. But yeah, go and buy the Grokk, everybody.
Yes, absolutely. Buy the Grokk, man.
Yes.
Thank you so much, love, for doing this, man. I really appreciate you coming back on and doing it all over again.
Oh, no worries. It's a pleasure.
Yes.
It's a pleasure.
You gotta love technology.
Dude.
Yes. It was definitely a pleasure. Thank you again. And
Nice one, Sam.
we'll definitely send you the updates once it's ready.
Brilliant.
And again, we'll be watching you closely. And next year, your launch, we'll have you back, and we'll do a follow-up. And maybe we'll have you and John talk about your projects
At the same
together.
time. That'll be great.
Yeah, together.
That would be cool.
Yes.
Be totally up for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right.
Absolutely, buddy.
Guys, well, look, God bless. Peace and love, and keep creating. And I'll speak to you guys soon, anyway. So
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Thank you, buddy.
We'll be chatting. Thanks, Jalal. Take care, bud.
no worries. Take care,
You too.
guys. Thanks. Peace.
All right.
All right. So, another fascinating interview. Thank goodness that we get that out of the way. All right, cool. And let's.
I wasn't sure if you had his website up while we were talking to him. You probably did. I'm not sure. But, yeah, he's got some interesting stuff, man.
Yeah, I had while we were talking to him, I had just the promo of him being a guest, whatever.
Grokk.
But the address for his website will be on the YouTube channel and on in Podbean.
On the URL. Yeah, definitely. So it's the Grokk, GROKKK.com.
Yes.
Definitely check it out, man. Jalal's an excellent guest. Great guy.
True independent.
True independent, dude. True independent. Gorilla. He's out there putting stuff in stores himself.
Yes, he gives a lot of thought into every aspect of the creative process, which is pretty awesome. It is funny how when he says that, the Grokk came to him from the universe, I've said it many times. There are times where there's just this creator that maybe passed away, and his soul comes over and he's like giving you these ideas. Hey, run with this. And those ideas just come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But no, I like the concept. I love the thought process. I love the detail that he gave into every aspect. I love the grunt work and the grassroots promotion that he's doing and going out there and going door to door. It's the same philosophy we've always had. And I think, there's no such thing as no. There's only doubt, and I think most people get stuck because they put too much weight on, well, what if they say no, instead of just going and seeing what the response is going to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I give him props, man. 144 pages all on your own, where you're drawing, you're coloring, you're doing all of that stuff. That's not an easy feat. So yeah, he's done a great job, and definitely grab that book. But
Yeah, it's funny because he's talking about the Grokk, but then I was thinking about similar artists that draw similar styles, like Dale Keown that did the Pit. And I have the Pit's sketchbook by Dale Keown. Dale Keown's sketchbook, and it's called Full Bleed. It's freaking amazing. You'll see it on What's in the Box.
What's in the box?
But also, if we get to 500 subscribers on our YouTube channel.
There you go. You're about to do it, Sam.
Right?
Ooh,
so if we get to 500 subscribers, you get this original piece of art by Chris Cross from the comic book Outsiders, which is right here, and you get the actual comic that this page is in.
This kid is doing both.
You get the comic bagged and boarded that this is in. If we get to 500 subs on our YouTube channel, in order to qualify, you can't be in private mode. We need to know that who you are and that you are in there and you are an active member. You can't just subscribe for the raffle and then disappear. So you got to show that you've been an active member.
Now let me ask you this, Sam: is this anywhere in the world you're shipping this, or it's just U.S.?
Oh, well, whoever is a subscriber. So it's a random person. I don't care. You can be in Bangladesh. If it shows up, I will package it myself. It's original. It's just from my collection. So I collect original
Sam,
art.
You're killing me.
And this is one of my collected pieces. And it's
I feel like that's like 1,000 subscribers right there.
Yeah,
500.
I know. I'm doing 500. So it's page 14 from issue 5 of.
Is it? Damn.
Yes, and in fact, if you want to see where it is in this book, I'll open it up. So you got, how do I know that's the issue? Right, so here's page 14. Where is you? Where you is?
The Outsiders, wow. Chris
Here it is.
will make ya.
So here is the page that I just showed you, right, in color, right? And there it is right here, in original. Boom. There it is.
When did you get this page?
Oh, I've had that in my collection for 20 years, 15 years. 15 years.
You got it at one of the conventions or something?
No, I bought it. I bought it from Original Art website. I forgot the name of it. Years ago, about 15 years ago. And I've had it over in my private stash, and I have about maybe 40 pieces of original art. So contemplating which one do I want to give up, but because I believe in Catch the Craze, and I want to give an incentive to our listeners and our subscribers, that's up for 500. At 300, you'll get an original. You'll get there's Nailing My Toilet trade paperback, and you'll get Wonder Duck trade paperback, and you get 2 sketch cards.
Here's the thing: this is a November show, so hopefully by then we would have already reached 300. So I'm hoping giving that away.
Yes.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah, finger crossed. And if we had reached the 200, because at the time of this show that we pre-recorded it, we were at 195. So if we reached 200, then a subscriber would get we'll do a raffle, and you get one of our branded hoodies with our new logo. So and you get to pick the size and color of the colors that are available within the store, which is we'll have that link for the store. Will be posted, and so we're doing some really cool stuff, and we do appreciate. We've been growing because I've been listening to some of the shows, and one of the shows that just aired was with that I listened to when we did Diga, and that aired. At that time we were at 147 subscribers. Now we're at 195. So So it's funny how we're. But it's pretty cool to know that it's growing. Thank you all so much. For your support. And who do we get after this show? Do you know?
I don't know who we have officially booked. I don't want to say it's somebody and then all of a sudden it's not on there. I think you might have created something for it.
Did I?
Like a little show schedule.
No, I don't have a 212.
No, right? Well, then that's up for grabs.
Up for grabs.
Up for grabs.
Up for grabs.
But thank you guys for joining us again on another episode of Catch the Craze. Remember to hit the Patreon. Our Kickstarter stuff will be going out soon. Check out our websites, medinawhip.com. Check out iCreateStories.com. I don't know if you would have changed that by the time this airs.
It's crazycomics.com.
Crazycomics.com. CRAZEE, not ZY.
Yes. Now it's crazycomics.com because Google is nicer to Crazy Comics than it was to I Create Stories. So, and the branding, it goes in line with the Craze and Catch the Craze and Crazy and the whole bit. So, so visit crazycomics.com, subscribe to our show, hit us up, engage with us, join our Patreon, become a member. We appreciate. Number one, I appreciate every single one of you. We do this because of you. We do this because we love the game, and we hope to be putting out more content, and then hopefully next year celebrate 300.
There you go.
What? Peace.
Peace.
And I am.
It's just easy. It's not.
Crazy. Acquiesce.
No, I was talking about my friend Acquiesce. I met him. Say my name, right? This is what you were thinking? Oh, he described me. He said, I'm the
what? Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze. To Catch the Craze. You are listening to Catch the Craze on Catch the Craze. You're listening to Catch the Craze.